Well, good morning. I'm usually up well before the sun, but not today. I did wake up around 5, and for whatever reason had a massive headache. Popped a couple of Aleve and drank some water, went back to sleep, and proceeded to sleep till probably 8 o'clock, which is rare for me. But anyways, I'm up now, feeling good. Got a cup of coffee. Had a chat with the campground host. Came by. He's a guy from Silver City, New Mexico, and I mentioned I'd be stopping there on the way home, so he gave me a bunch of good tips on where to go and what to see and what to do. So that's cool. Today, the plan of attack is to fix probably another quick breakfast and head into Big Bend National Park and get acquainted with the place, drive around, check the visitor center out. Probably going to go down to the southwest portion of it and do what I'm thinking is a short hike up to a canyon. I don't recall the name of it. I want to say Santa Elena or something like that. It's probably wrong. But hike up to there. It's supposed to be a big gorge that you're in the bottom. You kind of walk up to, sort of like Zion, the Narrows, but on a much wider scale. So yeah, that's the plan. Just got to get moving now after coffee. All right, I'm on my way to the national park entrance, and I just stopped off at the Cottonwood General Store, which is actually pretty nice. Got a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits and just about any other kind of thing you would need. Frozen meats, fresh meats, bread, cereals, hardware, firewood, spare parts for your RV. So pretty nice, friendly folks. And I just got a loaf of bread and a couple of sodas, and I am off to the park. Shouldn't be too much longer till the entrance here. So I'm doing the short hike to the mouth of Santa Elena Canyon, and I should be having my first peek of the Rio Grande here. I'm not expecting a lot of water, but we'll see what we see. I'm a little winded. It's a good climb. Got some nice stair system built up here though. But I think I'm almost to the canyon overlook here. Said it before, I'll say it again. I love these riparian areas down by any kind of water source. The reeds get thick next to the river. You got mesquites and cottonwoods. I haven't seen too many cottonwoods other than outside of the canyon, but it's spectacular in here. Just beautiful. Just imagine that big hunk of rock falling from way up there, just collapsing into the canyon. Probably happened eons ago. Pretty cool. This apparently is the end of the trail. Unless you want to get wet or hop in a boat. So there you have it. Santa Elena Canyon. Just gorgeous. Yeah, so that was Santa Elena Canyon. Went back in as far as I could without getting wet. And at the end of the trail, I ended up meeting a young couple from Tennessee. Super nice. Chatted for a while. And we both kind of, or all three of us paused for a moment. And he said, you know, it makes me feel really small out here in the West. Being from Tennessee, he said back east it's crowded, even when you're in the woods. He said when you're out in the mountains in the West, he feels really small. And I told him, I go, yeah, I also get a sense of time, especially in a canyon type environment, just the eons that have gone by, what that land has seen over time. But we had a good talk, had a little moment, if you will, all three of us. Shook hands and parted ways, and left me with a good feeling. To the untrained eye, it may appear that I'm about to take a nap. No. I am actually planning out my next excursion. Trust me. Well, tonight I'm going to fix an actual dinner. I haven't done much cooking at all on this trip. It's about 5:30 and I'm getting hungry. And I think I'm going to make fajitas tonight. Fixins out and be ready to go. You know, you gotta have them fixins. Gotta. mighty fine. These might be the best fajitas I've ever made. I'm sure that has something to do with the atmosphere, the ambiance. Perfect. Good morning, all. So after dinner last night, I got things cleaned up and decided not to have a fire, and just went to bed. I came in the trailer and just started reading for a bit, and then slept really well last night. However, the wind kicked up just after midnight, and it was just crazy windy. I still slept all right, but it did wake me up a few times. Had to get up at one point and kind of check things around the camp. I didn't leave a whole lot out, but what I did leave out had kind of blown over and got tossed around. So I got that secured, went back to bed. It's still breezy, but I'm hoping that it's going to die down. It's a lot less than it was last night, that's for sure. But I've been laying here kind of just enjoying the warmth of the trailer and watching a little bit of YouTube while I'm waking up. The sun came up just a little bit ago. I don't know if you can see that little tree over there is still blowing a little bit. But I'm about to get up and finally get me some coffee. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. I may drive to the east end of the national park to hike a trail up a canyon. I think it's Boquillas Canyon. I might do that, depending on if it's still kind of cold and windy. That might be what I do, because it'll take a while to drive to that end of the park, and I'll be able to check out the scenery of that side. It's really beautiful in there. I mean, the whole area is here, but once you get into the park, you can really understand why it's a national park. There's canyons and volcanic activity, or remnants of volcanic activity. No volcanoes going off or anything, but a lot of geological sites to see, trails, history. There's some old ranches and dwellings from the past that you can hike down into and check out. The trail yesterday was really cool. It was a short trail, Santa Elena Canyon, but that was a good hike. So yeah, let's get this thing going. So this is the Boquillas Canyon Trail. I just met a lady that had come down, said that it was extremely windy as you approach the canyon, and she decided to turn around when she got towards the end. She also heard that the wind is supposed to die down today, so we'll see what we see. Hope I don't get blown out of there. Trail starts with a series of steps, as the sign said, and then it'll go down to the river bottom and just maybe into the canyon just a little bit. So let's get going. Whipping down here, blowing sand everywhere. Woo-hoo-hoo! Crazy. But I gotta push on. Maybe when I get into the canyon, it'll calm down. Holy moly. That was a big blast of wind and cold. That gave me like a brain freeze. Uh-oh, here it goes again. But I am getting into the canyon. So it's breezy in there too. Well, this is the end of the trail, as you can see. And it's a little cold for swimming, but how about that? That's awesome. That was worth getting sandblasted and cold wind. But it's sun's finally coming up over that cliff there. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Whoops, 1,300 feet apparently up there. Cool peak up there. Looks like a cathedral cave up there. All right, I'm gonna grab a quick snack before heading back out, but glad you could enjoy this with me. And just as a reminder, USA and Mexico. It's a good day to be alive. That's pretty cool. You can actually see erosion almost happening in the dried sand and mud. You can see where the water and the wind have started to sculpt it into different layers and breaking it down into very, very small canyons. Take that on a scale of eternity, you get that. Love it. Heading back to the truck now. And I spy just up ahead a couple other people hiking with me. I think I'll leave them to their lunching activities. How's it going? Buenos dias. Have a good day, ladies. And I just round the corner here and I see they got a little baby. folks from across the river make all of this. And they bring it across, hoping that the tourists in America will buy them. It's sort of an honor system thing. Find something you like, put the money in the can, and support the community across the river. Pretty cool. All right, that was Boquillas Canyon Trail. Gorgeous. I could have done without getting sandblasted by the wind, but it died down on my way out, so I'm hoping the rest of the day will be much better. I'm not sure where I'm heading next. There's a lot of little trails off the main road. I might just go and check those out. I did stop in at the visitors center at the Panther Pass Junction, or Visitor Center, I think it's called, Panther Junction. Spoke to the park ranger there and was inquiring about some backcountry camping. He recommended a few spots for me that I could also get the trailer. So I may check that out on Monday, stay Monday night at one of those. Decided to stop, have a sandwich. I took a dirt road, that's East River Road. It's kind of a 4x4 road. And there's a few camp spots along these roads out here that are the primitive camping. This is one of them. I think it's called Gravel Pit number 3 or something like that. And the Rio Grande, the river's just down the road, just a little bit further. I did go check it out. It's very windy down there, even more than here, and the dust is really fine, so it's kind of stirring it up too much. But this is a little bit sheltered and enough for me to fix a sandwich and eat it. Got a couple of places you can put a tent. Got a bear and javelina box. Keep the critters out of your food. Yep, desert camping. I'm familiar. But I made a quick turkey sandwich with some scallion mayonnaise that I made at home. If you haven't ever had, let me try that again. If you've never made homemade mayonnaise before, you should give it a shot. It's super easy to do, tastes good. You can flavor it with whatever kind of thing you want. I've made like chipotle mayo before, but it's super easy to do. And it's good. Well, I am back at camp. After cruising around the dirt roads and checking out the scenery in Big Bend National Park, I came back through Study Butte, which is kind of the town that I'm in. Drove over to Terlingua, checked out the ghost town there, just kind of did a quick walkthrough. I'm going to head back there this evening to have dinner at the Starlight Theater. It's kind of the most popular place around here, I believe. They've got some live music tonight, and that should be fun. So my plan tomorrow is that if it's not windy, I'm going to head back into the park and hike up to the tallest point there, Emerson Peak or Emory Peak, something like that. But that's about a 7-hour day from what I've been reading. So I'll get up early. If the wind is cooperating, I will go up there. I really don't want to go and try to summit the peak when it's a chance of getting blown off of there. I hear there's some rock scrambling you got to do to get to the actual summit. So I don't really want to be fighting the wind when I'm doing that. But for right now, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the sun here. It's still not very warm. That wind is icy. But it's not so bad sitting in the sun with the truck behind me to shield the breeze. So I'm just going to chill for a little bit and then get cleaned up and head to dinner.
Good morning, friends and family. I'm on the move once again. It's about 8:30 in the morning, a chilly morning. Right now it's 40 degrees. When I woke up at camp, it was around 30 degrees. But the nice thing is there's no wind today. So what that means for me is that I'm going to attempt to summit Emory Peak up in the Chisos Mountains, which is just to my right. I've already entered the park, and I am making my way up to the trailhead up there. It's, I believe, around a 10-mile hike out and back, and is expected to take, on average, about 7 hours. So I brought some cold weather gear with me, and we'll see if I can make the summit. Yeah, last night after dinner I came back, kind of crawled into the trailer and did a little reading and watching some YouTube and enjoyed the evening there. Got a good sleep. But the dinner from the Starlight Theater was excellent, and the only thing better than that was the company. Being by myself, I sat at the bar, and it's basically one big room in there, the dining room, and the bar's on one side, and the stage of the theater's in the back. And there was a guy playing the slide guitar and singing some nice tunes. But the folks that sat next to me at the bar were a cast of characters. There was old Joe that sat in the corner at the end of the bar, who is apparently a local. Man of few words, but when he did speak, they were very funny. Then next to him was a guy named Doug, Texan through and through. Nice guy. He came off a little harsh at the beginning, but after talking to him for a little while, we ended up kind of becoming friends a bit, and had a nice chat with him. On the other side of me was a retired professor from A&M, I believe that's right, Texas A&M, yeah, who was very talkative. Was an archaeologist, anthropologist, I believe, was his forte. So we had a lot to talk about. It was fascinating, interesting, and entertaining. Later, after Doug had left, I met Brian, who's from Appalachia, and again we had a good time talking about mountain biking. He was there doing some mountain biking in the state park, and of course, as one does when you're from different regions, you talk about similarities and differences and things you like and don't like. But we had a nice chat as well. The bartenders were hilarious, very friendly, and one of them, I think it was Candace. Candace was also an artist and showed me some of the things on her phone that she does. It was really cool. She takes a canvas out into the national parks and deserts and that, and lays them out onto the rocks to show erosion, but gets them wet so they take the form of the rock, and then will paint to reflect what she sees beneath the canvas, if that makes sense. So it's really, really cool. I mean, and then she takes them out and frames them, of course, but really pretty. And I've never seen that tactic before. So yeah, it was a great evening. Great evening. And now I'm, like I said, trying to muster up the determination to make it to the top of Emory Peak. So I'll meet you at the trailhead.
Got my pack all loaded up with all the necessities. Checked in at the visitor center. And I'm on the road, on the trail. Looks like I'm gonna head towards the window view trail, take the Pinnacles trail from there, and then do the cutoff to Emory Peak. So let's see if I know which way I'm going here. Here we go. I'm actually not doing the windows view. I can get Pinnacles Trail right here. 5.3 miles to Emory Peak. Off we go. So, that peak right there is Emory Peak, which apparently is the third tallest peak in the state of Texas. I'll put the actual elevation in here, as I don't recall what it is, and I'll let you know the elevation gain on this trail once I complete it. It's a brisk morning, but I'm very happy that there's no wind. I believe they call that the window. There's a wedge cut in this little pocket valley up here below the summit that allows you to look down to the basin below. Pretty nice. But you see the Chisos Mountains create this big bowl here that spills down into that valley there, or the window. And visitor center's over there. And on the other side of, you can see that little peak there, that little mound, if you will. The campground's below that. So it's pretty cool. A little microclimate down here. I've been on trail for about an hour, and I've gone about 2 miles and climbed just under 700 feet in elevation. There's a lot of stairs, or wood and rock. Well, I have hit the switchbacks, and these switchbacks, a lot of them have stairs, which makes it even more strenuous. But it's not so bad. I'm doing all right. I'm going to stop and take a look at the view. I'm sure we'll get a better one a little bit above, but it's starting to get really impressive. I love the color of these rocks here. Orange and tan and white and black, and sprinkled with the little greens and yellows from the lichen growing on there. Just beautiful. I mean, how can you not love it? All right, let's keep rolling. Right down there,
more. The red roof, that's the visitor center, the lodge. And that's where I started.
And now I'm here. Getting close to Pinnacle Pass. And I believe it's right around there that the cutoff is to Emory Peak. Slow and steady. I just made it to Pinnacle Pass and started this bird trail up to the peak. It's I've been going for just under 2 hours, a little over 3 miles, and climbed just under 1,700 feet. Those switchbacks were a little tough, but the trail's pretty well maintained. As long as you don't mind climbing stairs, it's really not that difficult. But it is strenuous, as advertised. All right, let's get this ascent going. I think I'm at the final push towards the summit. The peak is right up there. See, it's kind of a split peak. There's some antenna, some equipment at the very top. And the wind is cold. Thankfully, it's not like super windy, but it's cold wind. So I just stopped for a quick snack and changed my attire a little bit. All right, let's do this. Made it to the top. That was a bit of a scramble coming up. It's going to be a little sketchy going down. But slow and steady, like always. It's pretty spectacular up here. I love it. As you can see, I'm heading down. I'm kind of mad at myself for not filming as much of the climb or the descent of that last section. But to be honest with you, the pucker factor was winning over. It was a little sketchy, and I wanted to make sure I had at least 3 points of contact, hands and feet, on the mountainside at all times. So yeah, it's too bad I didn't film more of it. It would have made for some dramatic moments. But I was only up there for about 10 minutes or so. The wind was cold, and to be honest, I wanted to make the descent while there was still a couple of people around. They could phone in for a helicopter if I took a tumble. But apparently I'm a little more skilled than I even give myself credit for. Just took it slow. Make sure I got good hand holds and footholds, and pretty good, pretty easy. And what a view up there too, man. It's overcast, as you can see, so maybe not as spectacular as it could have been, but it doesn't matter to me. It was gorgeous, and I can scratch that peak off the list. Third tallest peak in Texas. All right, I'm probably not going to film a ton going down, so I'll catch you back at the truck. Made it back.
All right, I'm back at camp, all cleaned up after a nice hot shower. Works like a charm. Nice and toasty until I get out. And then it's like dry off as fast as you can and get dressed. But I feel great. All clean after a strenuous hike. And I'm ready to relax at camp. Not sure what I'm going to do for dinner yet, but I'll figure something out.